Mia joins us now. Mia, thanks so much for joining us. Preseason Player of the Year for the conference. This is kind of old hat for you, though. What's it like, though, when you get the nod?
Of course, it's always a great feeling. I'm very excited. I'm just ready for the season to start. Of course, I would like to thank my coaches and teammates for putting me in a position to, of course, get this award.
Where do you feel like your game could still go another level?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, just like you've received so many accolades and you're such a fantastic player, but what's the next step for you to work on?
Um, just staying consistent. I feel as though, like, for the most part, me being consistent, being a leader, I still have many areas to work on. So just getting better day by day.
Well, we're going to toss it to Tom now because we have some media questions for you, Mia, so stand right by.
Okay.
All right, our first question is from Josh Verlin of City of Basketball.
Mia, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Thanks for joining us today. This team returns all 5 starters from last year. What does that do in terms of sort of raising the internal expectations when you bring everybody back from that starting lineup?
Just setting a good example for the ones who came in, being good role models, just teaching them the ways, the in and outs of the program, and just helping them buy into the system. Just a lot of leadership and experience that always goes a long way.
When you look at where you finished last year and then bringing that whole lineup back, and then when you're picked similar spot this preseason, does that give you a chip on your shoulder? Do you feel like you were maybe a little underappreciated?
Well, it's always exciting seeing the rankings. Like last year was a COVID year, and we wound up ending up in a good spot, and we bring 9 to 10 new people in that has a lot of talent. So I'm just ready for the season to see where we will land and go.
Thanks, Mia.
You're welcome.
All right, our next question will be from Glenn Papazan of PhilliesCollegeSports.com.
Hello, Mia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Congratulations on the award. But I want to know, what are some of the goals that you have, coming up for this season, on a personal level and on a team level?
Team level will, of course, be winning. One of the main focuses is winning this year. Definitely bringing a lot of defense. Coach been harping on that a lot defensively. Just winning, making an NCAA appearance.
Thank you, Mia.
You're welcome.
All right, our next question will be from Sean Pastor at owlsdaily.com.
Hey, Mia. So I don't know that there's any player who wants to play less, but you guys were so lacking depth last year. It looks like, right, maybe this year's team, you're not going to be asked to go 36, 38 minutes a game. Is that a sort of a plus as you look at it, if you a couple less minutes that you're going to be asked this year?
I'm willing to work with whatever coach think is good. So if she feel as though that she don't need to play me all in minutes and I can catch a break and get back in and start like basically doing better again, just giving me a break and getting other people in, I wouldn't mind it. No, if that helps the team and we win.
Was there an impact in terms of, stamina and that kind of thing at points last year?
I just feel as though depth is always a good thing. You always want like a bench, like always can depend on your bench to come in, change the game. So everybody want a team that has a bench,
Curious how long ago, right? It was like your first game, 21 points, 17 rebounds, Delaware State. How long ago does that feel?
That feel like a while ago. I don't think I remember that game.
Big numbers for the first game. That was your debut. You don't remember that?
I kind of remember it.
Yeah. Also curious for the, sort of the way the team looks this year, right? You were really sort of down last year also on shooters as compared to some earlier years. Does this team look like you got more shooters on there? Does that kind of make, again, your life a little easier in a sense?
Yes, definitely. I feel as though we have a lot of shooters on the team. We have a grad student, Jalen Holmes. She can knock down a shot. A transfer, Karanda, and also Imani can knock down a shot too. So we have a lot of people who can hit open.
Yeah. Did you get more attention with less sort of shooters out there last year?
Yes, of course. If you can't hit open shots, of course they'll pack the paint in like they did last year on me and Lex. So with us having shooters on the outside, that'll open up the floor more.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mia Brooke Weisbrod in the studio. You can just tell by the way that you communicate that you're a powerful vocal leader as well as a player on the court who can get things done, especially with 9 freshmen. How do you feel empowered and how do you use your voice out there?
Just being vocal, helping them when they don't understand stuff. Just leading them in a correct way on and off the court.
Mia, thank you so much for joining us November 9th against St. Francis. We're excited to see you back out there this season.
Thank you.
So Morgan Ubar, a reporter for American Athletic Conference, has a great piece on Tonya Cardoza, her 14th season, over 200 wins in her time at Temple. Here's Morgan.
Temple head coach Tonya Cardoza is a 5-time national champion from her years as an assistant coach at UConn. While there, she developed WNBA stars Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Coach Cardoza also coached former Husky and WNBA player Wilnette Crockett, who is currently in year 13 as an assistant on her staff for the Owls.
Well, Coach Auriemma, quite the coaching tree underneath him. But Coach Cardoza, for what she's done at Temple, when you think like over 200 wins is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubt. And, taking over for Dawn Staley is not an easy task, right? But she's done a fantastic job and has continued to reload with great pieces. This year is particularly challenging. You've got 9 freshmen and 5 grad transfers to try and gel together. But good thing you got Mia Davis, the preseason player of the year. That always helps.
For a Temple team, they love their basketball in Philly. What does this Temple team need to do to be towards the top of the women in the AAC?
Well, I think Mia made a great example of you've got to have consistent three-point shooting, because if she's going to play primarily in the post, they're going to pack it in. That's just, defense 101. If we're going to let you shoot, and sometimes there's a reason why you're open, it's because you're not a good shooter. So if Temple can manufacture a more consistent three-point shooting barrage, not only does that benefit them from the offensive end, that opens up Mia's game tremendously, of where she can really manipulate defenses even more. It's going to be really hard to scout this Temple team if they can be consistent from a three-point line. It sounds like with some of the new additions, could be heading in that direction.
I was waiting for the self-deprecating comment about someone being wide open for a reason, but you didn't go there.
Oh, were you assuming that I was a terrible three-point shooter?
No.
Thank you, Chris.
Not at all. We just, appreciate some ahead of ourselves. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go now to Coach Cardoza. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We talk about the new faces, 9 freshmen, 5 grad transfers. What has this off-season beginning of fall practice been like for you to make this team gel?
It's been amazing. We actually were here in the summer, so we had all 9 guys in here working, finding that bond that we need. And, we're just really excited about playing someone other than ourselves. I feel like we've been playing against each other for the last few months, and we want a different competition. I think every coach, when you're going through these practices, you're looking at yourself, how good you are or how, not as good. And just seeing against different competition. And I think we're ready for a different competition.
Quick question before we head to the Zoom. How much do you lean on Mia during that to maybe be a player coach or to bring unity to all those new players?
I mean, Mia's done an unbelievable job since she stepped on campus. She's been someone that we can rely on, on and off the court. This year, we're hoping that, we have other guys that have that experience and leadership and they can help her with that so that she doesn't have to carry that burden. But Mia's just been a great player on and off the court. I think her mom and her family have done such a great job of instilling great values in her. I think this year, especially with a lot of people um, jumping, Shea had that one get that free year, and Mia stayed committed to us, and that in itself just shows a lot about her. And I think everyone, coaches, players, we want to try to reward her for her contributions and making sure that she goes out a winner.
Let's go down to our Zoom media questions that they have for you. Tom is going to introduce each of them with a question for you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Our first one will be Josh Verlin of City of Basketball Love.
Tanya, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. When you and I talked a couple months ago during your summer practices, we talked about, sort of mixing this new group with the, very experienced group that you had still on the roster, and just sort of talking about all the depth that you had and how you said at the time that you were nowhere near ready to start to figure out a rotation. I was curious how far you've come in that regard. Are you starting to get a sense for, who's sort of moved up a bit in the pecking order?
Yeah, I think now that we're, less than a month away, we're starting to figure out our rotations a little more. But again, we had 5 guys that played the majority of our minutes last year, 4 of them averaging over 30 minutes a game, and the next one, the 5th one, averaging 27 minutes. We had 7 points, 5 rebounds coming off the bench. And now we add 9 new players to that team. And that just makes us really, really deep. We have a lot of different ways that we can play. We have size, we have speed, and like Mia said, we have guys that can knock down shots now. So I think Mia's going to have an opportunity to really excel and show how good she really is, because teams are not going to be able to double and triple her because the people that we're putting out on the floor are able to do other things. So I think this is going to be an exciting year for her, but more importantly, an exciting year for us.
Out of the newcomers, are there, a couple or 3 that you feel comfortable naming as those who, have made a significantly positive impression on you thus far?
Well, I think I would be naming just about the whole team, honestly. That's how deep I think we are. I think our transfers, Giselle, Jalen, and Karanda, have done a remarkable job. They're very mature. They all bring something different, but they all can score the basketball. And that's something that definitely we need, other guys that can score. Naya has done a great job of coming in and being a really good point guard for us. Tierra I think she can be someone just like Mia, who can come in her freshman year and just make an impact on our team right away. Kyra, a great post player who's going to see a lot of action. We have Shantae coming back. We have Michaela, who's a great defender, as well as all the other people that were here last year. So I think we're going to be extremely deep and fun to watch. I think the different styles that we're going to be able to play, definitely going to get out and run because we have those types of athletes. But on the defensive end, I think we're going to change how we play defensively as well, pick up a little bit more because we're so deep. So we want to be able to get that talent on the floor. The last thing we want to do is just to have all this depth and not put them in the game. So we're going to have to change our style so that we can showcase those guys and help us perform.
Thanks, Tanya.
Welcome.
All right, our next question will be from Glenn Papajan of PhillyCollegeSports.com.
Hello, Tanya.
Hi.
Where do you think the biggest improvement is going to be on this team this year?
Scoring. I really think that we're going to be able to score the basketball differently. Last year, I feel like we relied heavily on Jaisha, Alexa, and obviously Mia. And now the ball can just go just about anywhere and we can get something accomplished. So I definitely think that the way that we run our offense is going to be back like the years that we went to the NCAA tournament, where you're not going to be able to key in on one guy, that, every single person that we put out on the floor is going to be a threat to do something, whether it's pass, play defense. But I definitely think our scoring will be up, and I think our defensive mindset has changed, and we're up in the passing lanes, being a little bit more aggressive because we know that we can get out and run.
Now, last year you said that the forwards were really the strength of the team. Do you foresee more balance now, or will the forwards still be the strength?
I mean, obviously, Mia is our strength. Lex, just being as athletic and her size, she's a strength. But our guards now, it's a little bit more balanced because we have more guys that can knock down shots, more guys that score in different ways. So it's not going to be solely Mia. I think, obviously, Mia is our go-to player and always will be. But we have other guys around her that if she's not on her A game, or teams decide to double or triple, because she's had that as well, we have other guys that are capable of stepping up and doing things. So I honestly think that the way teams play us this year is going to change because we have so much talent.
In your view, how much better can Mia Davis be?
She's going to show you this year. I feel like last year she had just a subpar year. I mean, obviously it was COVID year, but she's in she's in great shape this year. She's expanded her game where she's working on her ball handling and facing up and beating people off the dribble. I mean, I know that she's done that in the past, but her first step is really, really quick right now. And again, she's not going to have to see double and triple teams, so it's going to free her up. And she gets to play a little bit more on the wing because we have size. So we're going to be able to move her all around the court. And again, she's just a threat because she can knock down the shot. She can go offensive rebound. And the thing about me, I think you guys said it earlier, she doesn't take bad shots. She plays within herself. She doesn't force her offense. And so that just, it trickles down to other players on the team.
Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome.
All right, our last question of the day will come from Sean Pastor of owlsdaily.com.
Hey, Tanya, I'm curious if you could describe what Tierra brings, right? Like I see a ranking that's real high as a recruit coming in. What does she bring to the floor?
Oh my gosh, Tierra is an unbelievable athlete. When I compare her to someone like Mia, whose size and strength is unmatched. She can get up the floor. She can really, really shoot the basketball. So she's able to knock down the three, but she can put the ball on the floor, super athletic. Still working on trying to help her understand the defensive concepts because she can be a great defender. But when I look at her, I feel like she's going to have the same type of career that Mia's had for us over the last couple of years. I think she has that type of talent.
Okay. Is that like playing a 3-4 or?
Just like Mia, she's going to play wherever we need her. She'll play the 3-4 for us, just like Mia. Again, like her size and strength and what she's able to do, she can handle the basketball, play in the open floor, and she can really stroke the basketball. But her size and strength is very comparable to Mia.
I'm curious, you've had players who sat out before too in transfers. What do you put on Destiny's plate basketball wise this year?
Destiny's not going to play for us this year. I think Destiny just needs to focus on, getting herself acclimated to college. And, she was already behind the 8 ball because we were already started. And obviously it's a waiver process that we have to go through. So we're just going to give Destiny an opportunity to just focus on her schoolwork and be ready to go next year. And we're going to need her next year. But right now we have so many guys that are ready to go that we're just really excited about that. But she'll be here. She'll probably travel with us. But she has an opportunity to sit back and watch how the other guys go about their business, and she'll learn from them that way.
Okay, but she practices and all that.
Yeah, she'll be in practice. She'll do everything that we do. She just won't appear in the basketball games.
Last thing, I'm curious, if you expect, the transfer portal for everybody is a thing. Do you expect or plan to be as active as you were this year going forward?
Well, this year was obviously a different circumstance because, everyone was free to move about, and we got lucky. I think we got extremely lucky in getting Giselle, Jalen, and Karanda. The three of them, the addition that they've made to our program is going to be remarkable. But yes, I think everyone is recruiting the transfer portal because you have players that have had college experience that know what it's like to actually go to practice and, weight train and take classes and balance all of that. So I think just about every coach around the country is going to continue to recruit the transfer portal.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Cardoza. Looking forward to watching you guys open up this season November 9th versus St. Francis.
Thank you, guys.